Well, guys, it's that time. Once again, we are here with the weekly podcast. So thank you for joining us, and hopefully you enjoy the topics we have for you here today. Got a few Marvel topics, a good DC topic, and of course, just before we get into it, a little bit of housekeeping. Community members, if you're a member of the audio commentary tier, the first episode of Loki is now available, and of course we will be doing weekly audio commentaries. On top of that, we revised all of our tiers, which means that some additional content will be coming and more details will be revealed closer to July. Now with that in mind, also look forward to the full audio commentary for the full Snyder Cut. So yeah, now let's just wrap it up with that, and let's get to the show. Don't worry, everybody, my phone is fine. I got this here. Sony Xperia? Are those still?
Christ, Jesus! What a throwback! I remember when they tried to be like the phone for music.
Yeah, and they were trying to also be like the PlayStation phone, where you could like slide them, and you had these weird, not analogs, but like they were like a thumb simulated analog. I don't even know what the hell they were so terrible. What were they thinking?
Nice.
How has Sony survived so long? Like,
I don't know, because I'm certain in the minute the PlayStation 5, there's something like screwy with it.
It's the only thing that's keeping them alive. Oh,
because there seems to be a few games. Like, I've heard Returnal. Like you either allow like your PlayStation can play it or you can't. Like, I've heard people getting like a lot of bugs with that game, and I think Destiny's got it as well. Or at least it's only the PS5 version. I got beagled again the other day, so I had to do a full reinstall again.
From what I understand, and I've ran into the issue myself, and I ran into this on Xbox as well with my Series X, it's external drives, if they're connected, if you use rest mode, both systems mess up for no reason, and will have you just, even if the game isn't on external, it might mess up core proper installs. And I tested it, and if I disconnect my drives when I'm using rest mode, everything works fine. But if drives are connected and I'm using rest mode, 50-50 chance the system is gonna screw something up. I'm gonna have to reinstall Call of Duty again for the 9th time.
See, I would say that's probably it, but I haven't got an external.
Oh, that's weird then.
Mine's just a base diskless.
Huh. Wow, that's screwy.
To be honest, I'm certain there's something like wrong with the hardware in the PlayStation 5.
Oh, I guarantee, because of all the chip shortages that they were all fighting for, some of the chips are probably like the comparable version. Like, you know how they always do that for the consoles? Like, we have this CPU, but this other company makes the same one. So, like, yeah, it's like how you have AMD graphics cards. There's all those, like, outlets and everything. It's like you got the EVGA and Asus and everything. It's like, yeah, it's, you know, it is what it is, but...
and also stick drift. Like, they're going to have a class action lawsuit, because like, I love the thing to death, but...
I have stick drift on one of my Switch Joy-Cons. I have it on my Elite Xbox Series X controller, and I have it on one of my PS5s.
On the Elite?
On the Elite.
My Elite never got stick drift.
It literally just got it the other day. I was playing... what was that? I was replaying Sunset Overdrive, and I'm like, why is this...
Like... When I first noticed it, I was doing like little tiny movements, and I was like, "That's jutting." Like, it's either jutting to the left or my thumb's jutting to the left, and I wasn't too sure. And then I just wasn't touching that stick, and I was like strafing left, and I'm like, "Yeah, I got the drift. I got the."
And what's terrible is that they all pull the same parts from the same company, so they all get it, because it all comes from one manufacturer. You're like, "Oh no, no!"
It's so
terrible.
Like, it's weird though, because I reset my controller and it went, but then it came back 10 times worse. It's like, thank God I literally just brought us a brand new one to replace that one.
Legit.
So,
I ordered that black replacement coming for PlayStation, because I'm like, I need that. So
see, I was gonna hold off for that, but I'm like, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wait until that comes out, send the old one back.
Yeah.
Because it'll be in the months, and try and get a new one. Just be like, hey, you sold me dodgy crap, I'm good. Take it from you.
Yep. Well,
no, my luck that won't work.
That's true. The luck of the draw. Well, I suppose with that in mind, I guess we should get into this damn thing. So here we go. Welcome, everybody, to the podcast. This is riveting stuff we just talked about before this. It may or may not be in the podcast. I'm not sure. Depends on how lazy I am when it comes to the editing of this. We probably didn't say anything offensive. Probably.
Unless you're Sony.
Yeah, true. Let me check if they send their checks over, and then we'll see what we need to cut. Praise Tom Rothman. Yes. What a great leader that Tom Rothman is.
Oh no.
He's still probably there, right?
Was. What is? I mean, I forgot.
Yep. Well, with that in mind, of course, as always, I am your host, Armin, and I am joined by the one and only, the King of Destiny, probably, Mitch.
Yeah, I wish I was the king. I'd have a bloody fate bringer, but goddamn Vault of Glass won't drop it. Why? Why? I get the same drops every time. People are like, oh, my fate bringer. It's just like, yeah, cool. I got another bloody scout rifle. I love the scout to death, but I want a fate bringer. One day.
Oh, this is how it goes.
You can follow me on Twitter, Mitch692.
Oh, there we go. You can follow him there, and he'll deliver you all the latest updates on all his thoughts and whatever else pops up in his mind, I guess. I just find me wherever. What have I been doing? I just beat Mass Effect 1. I think this might be like my 18th or 19th complete run through that game. Like,
I've never beaten a game that many times, ever.
The original Mass Effect, like the first 2 years it came out, I beat it every single way, everything possible. Then every console it's come out on, and PC, and then now this one, like it's one of my top like 5 of all time, the first Mass Effect. So I'm like, yeah, this was great. So I'm gonna jump into Mass Effect 2 next.
That's crazy.
Oh, it's so good, especially if you know what you're doing, because then you can just skip the cutscenes, and the game is like 5 hours because you know it's
I've
a one shot.
I've been going through my Warlock and Titan. On Destiny, it's just like I've done this before. Skip.
Yep.
I'm certain this kept like the last DLC was about a good 12 hours, but it's like, wow, I just did both of this in like 8 hours. Damn.
That's how like one of my friends saw me replaying the original Resident Evil 2, and he was just kind of sitting there watching. He was like, "You just beat that in one go." As we've been sitting here chatting, and it's been 2 hours. He's like, "You didn't even stop to think. You just kind of like go from place to place." I'm like, oh yeah, I just memorized all the keys, locations, everything. It's just like second nature at this point, you know. You don't need to actually do anything or commit yourself to it. It's like breathing at this point. So
I was talking to one of the guys in my Destiny clan about Red, because 2 of them are playing. Is it Village?
Village, yeah.
And I'm just like, how the hell do you do that in like under 3 hours? And it's easy. It's just I've watched a playthrough of it. And I'm like, there's no way.
I'm getting
like,
to
this
that
is some
point.
like hardcore speedrunner stuff, and then like you look at this, it's like, oh.
Once you start memorizing, you're like, oh, that's where that's gonna pop out of and stuff. You know to anticipate it. So like, you know, it's like, oh, if it's coming around this corner, and I know I need to run past it, just toss a grenade or something in there before you get to it. It's like,
It just always amazed me that how both long and short Resident Evils can be.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yep, it's once you get good at them. But speaking of getting good, this podcast will eventually probably get good. Probably not, though. It's, you know how
it's
this
only
goes.
been 10 years.
True. You know what's not good, though? Assassin's Creed.
Oh, yeah, it hasn't been good for years.
No, I'm just got to do our obligatory shout-out at this point to Skylar and his Assassin's Creed. And at some point in this, we'll mention the other name that we typically name drop in this. When we get to that.
Tell us again how much better Horizon's movement and assassination is than Assassin's Creed.
It's true, though. It's true. Well, with all that in mind, I suppose we are going to get to this program. Oh, hold up. I didn't bring up my notes. Of course I didn't.
Program?
Man, I'm speaking like a true old man now. We're going to get to this proper show at hand.
Welcome to this radio broadcast.
Oh, God. Yep. I'm just gonna... There it is. There's the proper notes. Okay, here we go. So, we're going to get into it. Interesting, I guess, development out of nowhere that came at us earlier in the week was Ryan Reynolds just posting a picture, no caption or anything. Deadpool mask and what looks like the rest of the costume in some duffel bags. What is this?
It looked like a backpack. I think he's just trying to keep Deadpool relevant.
I feel like he is too. Like, but also there is. I don't know. It feels like something probably could happen at this point, and none of us would be shocked, being like, "Hey, what if he just went and recorded a scene fully on a green screen?" Which we keep finding out WandaVision was shooting house scenes on a green screen, and nobody knew. So I don't know. Perception of reality has now changed for me.
Like, give me 1 second. I'm just gonna close my window because I ain't having that bloody grass cutting. I can't hear crap.
I'm keeping this. This is riveting audio. I'm keeping all of this in here. So yes, as I was saying, I don't know. Me personally, I look at this whole situation and I think Reynolds could be teasing something. In my opinion, I think he could be teasing something because
his career is nowhere because he's just now Deadpool.
Well, and it's the thing where they want him for Deadpool for a long time because that character sells. What's the point of rebooting? You got him. He's probably already signed a contract that's more lucrative to the Marvel side of the agreement, right? So it's like, yeah, I don't know.
I hope not, to be honest. I hope it's just that you got one film. Finish that trilogy and then we'll take it from there.
Oh, can you imagine the backlash, though?
I know deep down it's like, yeah, we've got you for like 1,000 cameos for the next decade.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Every second of it.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, I just find it interesting he drops that out of nowhere. It's not like he needs to, because we know Deadpool is happening. So it's like, is it a deliberate...
Well, some people, how many times have they had to say that it is going to be R-rated? And yet people are still out here going, it's not going to be R because it's Disney, man. It's just like, shut up. Like, just look what they're saying.
Yeah.
Or hear what they're saying. Read look at what they're saying. They're texting, they're typing.
They don't want to find themselves in a WB situation where you're like, we're bringing all of our films here. Oh, we're going to get class action lawsuit because we didn't talk to anybody and now we're reversing track. Like, it's probably not a good idea, in my opinion. I honestly think that maybe we'll start to see something Deadpool a little earlier than a standalone Deadpool. And my only thinking on this is, like, if we look at the current timetable of releases, the only film that's now missing is Blade, which recently got delayed by a year. And we know that's Blade just by, we're delaying the start to production. Oh, the script is going to take a little more time. And then they're like, we're moving the October 2022 to October 2023. It's Blade. Deadpool seems like...
There's no way Blade would not be in the spooky months.
Exactly. So, with that in mind, there's only one other unknown date, which can't be it, because it's the November release date, which automatically it's got to go to Fantastic Four, because that's already, like, it's literally dropping around Thanksgiving, the first family Thanksgiving weekend.
Yeah.
Disney always drops a big Thanksgiving movie. So, at this rate, Deadpool would hit us optimistically in late 2024. I don't see them...
with that.
I'm good with that, but I don't see them being good with it. If that makes sense. Like, it's, I feel like they would want it sooner, but I'm gonna go on a whim and say he's popping up somewhere in the multiverse. I
mean, it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me if that's how they bring him in, and he's like the only one they bring through the multiverse.
Yeah.
And then he's just like that perpetual lesson of, this is why you don't do that crap.
Mm-hmm. Maybe they'll just start tossing them into random post-credit scenes. Like, if they want to make it be like, Deadpool's still around, like, after you go watch, I don't know, the next Spider-Man film, there's the post-credit scene, or the mid-credit scene, then there's the post-credit, and then do a black screen for, like, 30 seconds, and then have another one with Deadpool being like, hey, remember me? I'm coming eventually, and just have them keep doing the same thing, just to be like, oh, right, he's still there. Like, it's... I don't know, it just feels weird if you're going to have to wait 5 years.
What they need to do, or what I'd like, excuse me, is if you have, like, a post-credit scene, like, either one of them, you have, like, 2 or 3 or whatever, like, just one of them, and over a course of, like, say, several movies, like, say 6, it's just, it tells its own little movie story of how he gets from one universe to the other. Like, make it like his Iron Man. Like, he's literally doing what Tony Stark did in Iron Man 1, but instead of getting out of the cave, it's getting out of the universe.
That'd be perfect.
And, like, you just, like, recreate, like, the scene in the cave, and he's, like, forging, like, this random time machine or something. Or just take every single post-credit scene that pushed the plot forward in the MCU and have that be how he gets. You just Deadpoolify it.
Right.
And you just change the story slightly to match him getting out from one and into the other.
Mm-hmm. No, I'd be good with that, honestly. I assume we'll hear something, probably D23, but that's still next year, so it's going to be a while. But, you know, next slate announcement, I assume they'll tease something with Deadpool, because by then they'll have a solid foundation of at least what they want to do. I'm assuming they'll have like a script that's like, this is it. It's like, hey, all right, cool. I can go with this. So,
well, I say because Deadpool and X-Men are the only two we haven't really heard about.
Exactly. Although Papa Feige popping up in the X-Men comics now is canon, so that's great.
That's weird.
He's so desperate to get them into the universe, he's put himself in the comic to drag Cyclops into the MCU. Amazing.
Was that even Cyclops, or was that the Chimera?
I don't know. I haven't been reading the most recent X-Men run.
I've fallen behind it slightly, but
yep.
I know there's the whole Hellfire Gala going on, so I'm not sure if he just looks different or if it's the Children of the Atom Cyclops. I actually need to read it, but
same.
I think it might be Cyclops. That's Scott.
Well, whatever it is, we'll know soon, and then we'll talk more about Deadpool soon. So, WB's risky attempt at delivering superheroes takes another to HBO Max, because it looks like no theatrical release for Blue Beetle. Instead, he's just going straight on over to HBO Max to get dumped. So,
yeah, this is whack.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. Great. This is exactly when they announced Blue Beetle's happening, I was like, ooh, I really hope not a lot of people see this. And, ooh, I'm excited not a lot of people will get to see this. This is great. I love their strategy and marketing characters. It's risky, real risky here.
You know, people gave Marvel crap for putting all their like diverse characters on Disney Plus, but no, it's not a dick swinging contest, right? No,
yeah.
At least they're not like literally going. Yeah, we're gonna make this big movie of it, and then just like oh yeah, we're gonna kind of just put it over here. Because that's what it feels like. It's like, oh no, we can't put this out in a movie. It's like, well, of course you can.
Yeah.
Like, Blue Beetle's literally their Spider-Man. How do they not know that?
It's one of those things where you're like, okay, I'm in at the Blue Beetle level. Because, again, cool character. I'm in at the whole Batgirl thing. Because, again, I love Batgirl, my favorite Bat family character. So I'm in on that. And then you devalue them by putting them on HBO Max only. And even worse is what they reported. It's like, oh, well, they're not committing big budgets to this. Like, not even Joker budget, which was $55 million. Like, they're looking to go... I saw an estimate that says 20 to 35, 40 million at best. So, you're looking at an expensive pilot. Like, exactly. Like, just to put this into perspective, they're looking at a 2-hour movie to cost as much as an episode and a half of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, no. That's going to look worse than Smallville.
It's going to... Everything they've said about this just does not seem good. I don't like it. I think this is the wrong approach to take, and what really gets me is that they could do things like this and commit to and be like, you know what? Maybe Blue Beetle is a little riskier. Maybe Batgirl is risky, but we believe in this and we want all eyes on it. Like Kevin Feige has been saying since the beginning of the MCU. Just because you don't know them doesn't mean that there's no value. Perception of value is everything. And when you say, well, these things are risky and we don't think you'll like them, so we have to put them on HBO and they're cheaper, you're already telling me that it's cheaper and undervalued. That's... It's such a bad approach.
It's Inhumans all over again.
Yep. Oh, Oh,
You know,
the
moving
name
that
of
to
the
TV
forbidden. Why?
like, that was always going to be like bad on the TV side anyway. But you know, the second you moved it, you know, you already had that. Oh, you know, it's now the redheaded stepchild
Mm-hmm.
of everything. Like, just get it over there and just get it out. We don't really care about it. And it's, I don't know. It feels disingenuous because it's really like, hey, look, we're gonna have all these diverse characters, but they're only gonna be HBO Max. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And
Aren't you excited for Blue Beetle movie? Yeah, yeah, on HBO Max. Yeah.
yeah, they
Here's a 200 million Batman movie. Yeah.
yeah. And again, we don't even know if any of this is going to connect or matter in the long run, and that I think is even more damage as well. So it's like, it's the messaging, the everything behind this just seems weak. It comes off as weak, and it comes off like they're insecure and they are just making content for the sake of just put it out there, whatever. Like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Eh,
No,
disappointed.
it's clearly trying to get people on HBO Max, or
Yeah.
you know, the people that have access to a free account but haven't actually activated it
Yeah.
yet, because that's 80% of their subscribers. But I don't know. It sucks.
Yeah, and what's worse about this is at this rate, you're probably seeing both these projects in 2.5, 3 years. So we're talking about them now, but you're not seeing those anytime, like soon. So,
No.
like,
I mean, how many times have they spoken about Blue Beetle in the last like 5 years? They've announced it twice.
dude, they started working on his show and the Booster Gold show after their Smallville episodes in like season 7 or 8. So it's been more than a decade both of those have been trying to get off the ground, and nothing. No movement, just dead in the water every time, which I suppose we should have knew that was coming. So
Like, it's got to really be disheartening working at DC when you're seeing the Eternals
yeah,
come out. Like that, the
Yeah.
marketing for that movie has started, yet you can't get a Blue Beetle movie out with an appropriate budget.
mm-hmm.
And
That's
yet Black Adam can be a thing. That movie can spend nearly 20 years in development and then get a decent budget.
well, that's because the Rock said I want to, and they'll bend over backwards to give the Rock whatever he wants because that's Hollywood. So,
I mean, I suppose somehow he makes money.
yeah. We'll talk more about whatever risky new projects they announce next. I'm assuming in the next 6 years they'll re-announce Lobo for the 9th time. Get hyped, boys.
Yeah.
Lobo. Turmoil and development help indefinitely. Namor is a name that's been synonymous with the MCU ever since Iron Man 2 and the Atlantis blip appeared on the map. Nothing's happened with Namor up until this past week where I want to say it was the Illuminati that first reported it.
Yeah.
Yes.
It comes from them. Yeah.
So
This is their quote exclusive.
they reported that I believe the actor was cast all the way back in October or November, like the first casting from Narcos we heard. Like they're like, oh, the star of Narcos, or one of the stars of Narcos, is joining Black Panther 2. We had no other details. Apparently, that has been confirmed by Marvel. They kind of nodded towards it, and now it's like, whoa, he's actually playing Namor, which gives us then a Mexican Namor, which I'm like, interesting approach to this. If this is
So
true,
Atlantis is going to be Mayan.
yeah. Boy, that is. Here's the thing.
It's an interesting idea. I know nothing about Mayans. I don't know if they had anything to do with the water
So-
or not.
Mayan and that whole area is my favorite piece of history and setting of all time. Like, I've been to Mexico, gone into the temples, taken all these excursions, historical sites, and all that. So, like, I love it. So, when they said, we're probably going to do something with the Mayans and stuff, I was like, I was already on board. Then you add a great actor. I'm like, okay, you got me now.
I've never even heard of this guy.
Yeah, I've seen Narcos and I've seen him, but like it was a bit ago, so it's like, all right, it's I have to see a little bit more. If it's true that they're gonna tie Mayan history with Atlantis, which they do have to bend over backwards and really try, I could see how they could do it because there is a way you can do it. I'm okay with it because again, you're inventing new history for this, like universe that's not real because it's Marvel. It's a fictional freaking universe on film, whatever. But to me, it seems out of left field because the last person that I could picture as Namor would be like, if you lined up like 100 actors and he was one of them, he might be the last one I pick out to be like, that's a good Namor. Like I just don't see it. I don't know. Like,
but they're the best castings, though, surely.
I would assume. I don't.
Chris Evans, no one saw Captain America with that.
Yeah, that's true. Like, it's a weird situation to be in. I don't know. What's your feelings on Namor first and foremost?
I mean, Namor's cool. I don't know how big of a player he's gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
Like, can you make a Namor movie? I don't think you can. I think Namor works better when he's literally a supporting character.
That's kind of my take on it as well. And like, I want to say the actor Tenoch Huerta. I might have botched that first part at least. Like,
probably.
I mean, I think he could do it. I think there's something there. I think he could bring Namor to life in a good way. And I do think Namor does have to be a supporting character, in my opinion. Again, I love Namor and Aquaman, but I think Aquaman has more presence as a character that doesn't have to be a supporting character. Like, there's more to him because he's had more stories. Namor has always kind of reminded me of a supporting character. Maybe,
yeah.
It's just, that's kind of how he always came off with the Invaders and everything, and then going on with Fantastic Four connections, and even...
So he's always been around other people. He's never really... Like, you had, like, the Solos when he first...
Yeah.
Like, when he was, like, the first Marvel character, or Timely Comics character. But you've never really had, like, a Namor Solo since. He's always just been a part of other people's stories. Which, it's fair to say it doesn't necessarily mean you can't do a Namor Solo movie. You could probably quite easily do it, but how do you get around the Aquaman problem?
Mm-hmm. And I
think
think
people are just going to go like, "Oh, it's just Aquaman," even though they're totally different.
Completely different characters, yeah. And Namor did come first, so it's like there is some like
that's the new Gods Eternals argument. It doesn't matter which one came first. The Eternals came out in the movies first.
Exactly, so that's the one that matters. And I honestly don't think that Namor needs to be anything more than a villain / maybe a reluctant ally after he's showing up and stuff, because you can't just put Atlantis in the MCU and be like, all right, they're villains now. It's like, no, he's got to kind of have a redemption arc, and then he'll be controlled by someone, or somebody will be pulling the strings as the real villain.
He's an underwater Loki.
Yeah.
Not the same personality as a Loki, but he serves that same role. So maybe in 10 years' time, if this is actually legit and he is playing Loki, we will see, some people, sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong.
Yeah.
Until Marvel say it, but then said people might have already argued with creators attached to movies before about certain things, but we'll see. But yeah, I think if they take the Loki route and it's just like, we're gonna have villain, anti-hero, because that's kind of what Namor is anyway.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
And then if it all goes good, a few years down the line, be like, hey, here's a Namor. Just do like a 6-episode Namor show.
Yep.
You could easily do that.
Exactly. No, I'd be down for that. Look, we'll talk about this soon more. The Black Panther Wakanda Forever starts shooting in weeks. Just weeks from now, we'll start finding out, because they're starting in July. So we're going to know a little bit more. If they knock it back
that's when we'll know.
Yeah, exactly.
They ain't going to keep Namor a secret for long.
No. The last thing they'll want is set photos of Namor Atlanteans leaking before they confirm it, because that's going to catch all headlines. So it's...
Now, ankle wings or no?
My guess is they're going to look like tattoos, and then when he uses them, they're going to come off and sprawl off them or something. Yeah.
That's horrible.
I think they'll look a little weird. Kind of like how the Cap helmets always found a way to put the wings on without putting them on. It's like, they're there, but not...
See, I'd just do it like it's attached to the armor or something.
That could work too, yeah. Well,
just make it like a little fin on his ankle in the armor.
I suppose we'll know when Namor reappears in a comic 6 months from now and he has a whole new look. We'll go, aha! I guess that's what
I mean,
they're
he's
doing.
already done that.
That is true, yeah, that is true.
Jason Aaron did that in his Avengers run. He looked like Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
Which,
yeah.
Why did you not get Keanu, Marvel? He's like the perfect Namor. Like, come on, why? But, I mean, even, like, I don't know this guy's a set, so I can't really judge anything. But
well, when we know more, we'll come back and talk about it. But for now, I guess keep an eye out on Namor, and we'll see what happens. Let's talk about some Secret Wars stuff, because it's been brought up recently. Obviously, the moment you start dealing with these multiverses and all these crazy concepts, eventually you're probably leading to some sort of giant multiverse crossover, and we know Multiverse of Madness will do it, but Secret Wars is sort of, I guess, Marvel's next end goal, right? It has to be. Like, I don't see how it wouldn't be.
Here's the thing. There's a couple. One wasn't particularly big. It was very much confined to Al Ewing's Ultimates run.
Mm-hmm.
A few issues long. But the concept of it is huge.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if you need Secret Wars to happen first before that. You definitely need a certain concept, and a cosmic concept or abstract to be known before you do it. But it could possibly be one or two. It's more than likely the big one that everyone knows.
Yeah.
It's very, spoilers for Loki. They do kind of just go, there was a multiversal war. It's just like, what the? That in there with no warning. What the hell? Which I haven't had time to look up if there has been. I'm certain there has been like a multi, like this is part of like the history of that universe and everything.
I mean, when it came to the old world as how our universe and multiverse began, we know that the survivor is Galactus, because he's from the old, like Galen from the old universe. So like, I guess there is kind of precedent to do this, and my guess would be, and I'm just basing this guess on how the MCU has handled it, Secret Wars is a name brand, name value. So you use that and Secret Wars in name and small concepts, but you do your own spin on it. Like Civil War, like Avengers Infinity War. You're pulling from the Infinity Saga, but you're doing your own thing. Like, I could kind of see them doing like that and using versions of recent events from the comics that worked, which I am 100% okay with, because I want a different interpretation, obviously. And I think that is something that they have to be building up towards, because like you said, Loki just drops that in out of nowhere. You're like, whoa, how did we just get here from there? Like, out of nowhere. It seems a little too on the nose to not, it's not like hidden away. It's like in your face now.
It's like literally full screen, like, yeah. Like, yeah, this is the thing. But it'd be interesting how they handle it, because, there are, I'm trying to think, I want to say there's now 7 different iterations of the Marvel Universe. I want to say it's either 6 or 7. I know Al Ewing definitely added 1. So there's always that to play about with.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all the same reality and universe. It's just gone through 7 different iterations. I can't remember what exactly changes it and why. But there's some big, calamitous event.
I will not be surprised if they handle a concept like that in Doctor Strange, or hell, even Loki. By the end of the first season, they could drop something like that. You're like, wait, what? Oh.
I would say if they just come in and be like, hey, yeah, here's the firmaments, here's eternity, here's infinity, here's like all this, so they'll just be like, oh, we don't even have the living tribunal yet. You just dropped down. Like, what are you doing, Marvel?
Yup.
Give us eternity's got to be coming at some point, right? You can't do all this timeline stuff without eternity and like Kang, because how Kang's not in this thing yet, I don't know.
Yeah, it's really weird. I don't know, like, I feel like it's too on the nose for them to not do something with it. Or it could just be one of those things where they place it in there and it's like, we're just having fun with it. But too many people at Marvel have mentioned openly Secret Wars. Like, there's something up with it when Kevin Feige even says, well, Secret Wars. Oh. You never say anything. Like, you literally just stare and avoid by answering with a non-answer. So when so many people have said something, I think they're going to ramp up to it. Like, a part of me feels like that there's going to be some sort of massive announcement, maybe next D23, where instead of being like 2 to 3 years at a time, they're literally going to go, okay, here's 15 years, here's question marks everywhere after the next 2, but our end goal at the end of this 15 years is just Secret Wars question mark. It's like, oh.
See, here's my thing with that, right? The 15 years is way too long,
Oh, it is.
It took, what? 11 years for Infinity War to do Infinity Gauntlet, basically. But that was at 2 to 3 movies a year.
Mm-hmm.
We're now way above that.
Yeah, we are.
We're getting probably like 4 movies a year plus 4 to 6 TV shows.
I mean,
there's no way they're going to wait 15 years.
And with the whole Sony thing and Spider-Man and how they got to put out those movies, I think it's like, 2023? We're getting like 5 MCU films with another Spider-Man, and then Sony films on top of that. We're getting like 8 8 Spider-Man or like related, all combined, like 8 Marvel movies. It's like, bro. And then you got to account for 3 or 4 shows a year. So, yeah, I see what you're saying. Like, it would make sense if it's maybe even faster. Like,
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised in 5 years.
Yeah,
which is it's kind of weird because then you're only gonna have like maybe one Avengers movie in between everything. I'm not entirely sure how they're going to handle it, but their timeline of events, unless they're just going to really stretch the Avengers movie out, but I don't know. It's weird how they're going. I can't think how they're going to do it, but then again, I'm not the one getting paid to think how they're going to do it.
Yeah,
they're smarter than me, and they have a whiteboard of everything. So it'd be interesting to see. Well, it's going to be interesting to see. Not it will be.
Yeah, the approach they take to this, I think, is going to be very telling. Like, oh, here's our thing. Oh, okay, well, I guess you committed to that fully.
So far, like, there's too much multiverse stuff going on for Secret Wars not to be the next big thing.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
well,
I just, for some reason, I just sat here and I was like, "Are we talking about Secret Invasion?" I was like, "No,
no, that's the other secret."
Too many secrets. Too many wars. Oh yeah, it's because Secret Wars is their, it's their version of Crisis.
Yeah. Yep.
You think of DC, Crisis. You think of Marvel, it's Secret Wars.
Mm-hmm.
And sequels is probably a bit more sacred because they've only done 3, whereas DC's done 12 in the last 5 years.
Well, remember, they had Final Crisis, then they realized they can't call them Crises anymore, so now they just name Crisis as New 52, Rebirth, DCU, or whatever.
And now they're completely undoing everything.
Yep.
They're completely wiping out every single crisis, so everything's going to happen, which is weird. But that's a different conversation.
Creativity over continuity!
Now, I will say, what Secret Wars do you do? But it just hit me that all 3 are exactly the same.
I was going to say, it's all kind of the same.
It's literally, there is a Beyonder, there is a Doctor Doom. Doctor Doom somehow gets power. There is a patchwork world, and Doctor Doom.
See, if I was Marvel Studios, I would handle this in the most tactical way possible. So, let's say like phase, I don't know, 5, right? Or 6 maybe, I don't know. You name the entire phase Secret Wars, and then everything in it contributes to the concept of it. So you got your like TV shows that are part of it, that are, tackling elements of it, and then your big blow off that everything builds up towards is Marvel Secret Wars the movie, or Avengers Secret Wars, or whatever. But you could kind of have more time to play in that universe. It's like, let's say we have Moon Knight season 3. Okay, well that is branded Secret Wars, sort of like the spin-off issues of events, and it contributes, and if you watch all of it, you get a bigger picture of it. Because logistically, to me, it seems like that has to be the next step of how they do it, like, branded universe things because they're literally.
First thing, how do you set Secret Wars up? How do you handle it? Do you completely sidestep what's going on in the sacred timeline? Quote. Yeah. At least now we can. I'm certain they've thrown that out there because they're going to be playing more with the ideas of this is not in the actual reality.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, do we just go right? We got a new Cap, we got a new Thor, we got all this and that.
Honestly, that's you do the movie by letting Kevin Feige go Madman Feige and be like, so we got Robert Downey Jr. back in this because he's been plucked out of here in Battle World, and we got Hugh Jackman, and we got Legion for some reason. Here you go. And we got Agent Coulson. Like, use Daredevil. It doesn't matter. Like, he can just pull whatever he wants and be like, what's the excuse here? Beyonder realities? I don't know. Like,
But so, do we push the Sacred Timelines plot forward into a Secret Wars, or do we spend our time looking at other variants, realities, whatever, to then culminate in a Secret Wars?
I would just do both. Like, at the same time.
I suppose both is probably a good argument to why they're pumping out so much stuff.
Yeah.
You kind of have to.
Mm-hmm.
But then you're going to get really confused into what happens where and when and who's in what. Because let's be honest, Secret Wars is the entire point of doing a movie of that is to have the end game scene at the end of the portal look bigger.
Yeah. Oh God.
It's like, oh, look at all these things and people and characters we've been introducing you to over the years. Like they're now all literally here. Here's an entire planet worth of people.
By then, Kevin Feige's gonna bring in his Jedi. He's gonna have bought half of DC Comics and bring in Wonder Woman. It's like, what? Look at me.
I mean, why spend money on Wonder Woman when you got Power Princess right there?
That's true. But no, I agree with you. Like that is the whole goal. The whole goal is to have the end game scene, except 10 times bigger. So
yeah. Not that I know how you even fit that all on screen, because it gets to a point. End game is too big and there's too many characters at the end.
Yeah.
You couldn't see them all in that final fight worth a damn. So it was kind of like, oh cool, there's a bit over there, there's a bit over there. Like, if you have a multiverse of that, it's going to be like there's cool colors.
That's why you just do another secret. You do two-parter. You do Secret Wars, and then you do Avengers Secret Wars Battle World, and the entire second half is literally just a giant battle. Just here's everybody you want for 2 hours straight. Your brain is going to be numb from action. You're just like, I can't cheer anymore. I might die. I'm too hyped.
No, I have faith that they'll pull it off, but this could be such a cluster.
Oh yeah. Oh God.
It's going to be. It's no matter what they do, it's going to be a cluster. This is the sheer nature of it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's going to be.
If there is one studio I trust that can pull this off, this is the only studio that can, and they're in charge of it. Luckily, so we don't have to worry too much about it. It's like, no, if they want it, they'll make it work. Everybody said that not even Avengers could work, and then
that's true. Fast forward 12 years and look where we are.
Exactly. It's like, oh, Avengers is nothing compared to how far you've come. So, like, yeah. Oh no, the jets are coming for me.
I was gonna say, is that a UFO? Or...
It's something. I don't know. Disclosure is coming, so it might be.
Cool.
It's the jet flying reptilians. Save me, Alex Jones. Yep. So
is it all the chemtrails?
Magneto's controlling the magnetosphere or whatever. What did he do in Ultimatum? I don't even remember. Like, shifted the poles or something?
Yeah. He did something with it. Was it that actually? I said yeah, and I'm just like.
I think it was like him shifting the magnetic poles and pulsars or something.
I think you're right, because he caused the floods and everything, didn't he? Like,
yeah.
New York.
Yeah. Huh.
It's either he pulled the moon forward a little bit, or he shifted the poles. I want to say he shifted the poles.
This sounds like the exact type of comic book jargon you'd come to expect. Just moving the South Pole with his hands.
He shifted the Earth 2 degrees on its axis.
Let me explain to you why One Punch Man would beat him, though.
I mean, he wouldn't even get close.
You're gonna get Goku Shippuden or whatever. The ninjas. I don't know. My animes. They're all the same. What?
Yeah.
I don't know. I know the mecha ones that are different. So there you go. But yes, that's our Secret Wars conversation. It's probably coming sooner than we think. That's
the biggest question I have is: do we do Beyonder with flares or without?
Huh?
Does he have the perm?
That's a good question.
Do we have evil multiversal Disco Stew? It's the biggest question of all.
The Beyonder should just be Kevin Feige with a hat.
I mean, he kind of should be. Yeah.
Like, what they need to do is play Secret Wars as a meta movie where we learn that he's been controlling all of this from our reality, and they have to enter this reality and fight him for ownership.
So what you're saying is he is the betweener, and then the two biggest directors they have there, and then a Lord Order and Master Chaos.
See,
basically,
this all works. And he can have like Avi Arad be his version of Desaad, where he's just like, please, sire, man. It's like, no, Avi, shut up, come on.
And then all three will fuse, and they'll create this giant Final Fantasy head mask winged thing. God bless you, how you and I thought that.
Who's Tom Rothman gonna be though from the comics? Mole Man?
Yeah, Mole Man.
I mean, you would have to assume the mole people are eating old paint chips down there or whatever. And I kind of...
Do the underground people have paint?
I suppose. I mean, I'm no Morlock expert. I mean, but they probably do. You know, whatever's underground, and with the mole people and the Morlocks and whoever else lives underground. I don't know, snake people.
I saw the paint in the sewage. That's just come down. They just on the wall.
That's what they're doing. That's how Sony comes up with all their bright ideas, like Kraven's Last Hunt as an origin story.
No, you watch. They're just gonna say it's Kraven's first hunt and do it that way.
Oh God,
it's literally just the exact same thing, but it's the first one.
Wouldn't that be the most Sony thing? It doesn't even make sense.
Yeah.
Wait, what do you mean it's his first hunt? Isn't his last? No, just don't think over it. All right, cool.
It's like, wow, he's ambitious going after whatever Spider character he is first.
Yeah.
Like, how does he get there? He's like, oh, cool, Venom. I'm going to hunt that thing. I have an overwhelming desire to hunt this guy. He's just a guy chilling at home. This big Russian.
I can't... You know what? It just hit me, though. He's going to have that line where he's hunting him, and... somebody is going to be like, wow, Sergio, you're really quick with that silver, aren't you? As he's putting a bullet into his sniper rifle.
Oh, no.
And he's going to be like, you didn't see that coming? Huh? Sony, I want royalties for this. I know it's going to be in there. I want them. I need them. Just, come on. Because that line is too stupid not to use on a Sony level, so...
As I say, we've had this game be carnage, so who Christ knows.
I can't believe it. When I get out of here, it's going to be carnage. Oh.
Anyway, Secret Wars.
Secret Wars. End of this show, I suppose.
The sad part is that all ties into Secret Wars.
It does.
Let's be honest, the Spider-Pete characters are going to play a part.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
We're clearly going multiversal. That hey, we're just gonna bring in Venom from the multiverse.
Well, speaking of the multiverse, if you guys have made it this far, hopefully you guys are members of the channel. If you're on the audio commentary tier, go join us because we are about to go record the Loki episode 1 audio commentary. So until next week, we'll see you all later.